Let's continue. So, yes. Then she went away, sitting at a table, sitting on the dock But why are you here then? Chris got in a thinking position. Well, you have another point there. Maybe because I want to help you, but I didn't expect it to break them up in the process. That was the idea. Really? Then I can't help you. Please. Okay, I'll help you out, but only if you need my help when you got a plan. Got it? Got it, Roy said, smiling a bit. Well then, see you later, Chris said, walking away, sitting near a table with other members. Roy stared at Chris for a moment, and he looked away a little concerned. What if I can't convince my father to marry my mother? After some minutes, Roy sat near a table with other members, and he was thinking a plan to make Elliewood to fall in love with Lyn. But first, he needs to break up Hector and Lyn. The question is, how can he do that? Oh boy. Okay, it's Serra. I just read a little bit ahead. Spoilers, the creepy voice that appears now. I know why you are here, a creepy voice said near Roy, and he looked around in shock. Who's there? He asked, scared. Over here, you idiot, the voice said. Roy turned his head to see Serra sitting next to him to his left. Aren't you Serra? That's my name. You didn't forgot, she said smiling. He forgot the first I in smiling. She said smiling. Smiling. Excuse me, but what did you said before? Roy asked, confused. Roy, I'm not stupid. You're here because you want to break them up, she said, grinning. Break up who? Roy asked, trying to evade Serra. Hector and Lyn. I know you don't want them to be a couple. How did you know? It's a secret. Anywho, want any help from me? She asked. Help from you? What the fuck? Why do you want to help me? This may sound weird, but I don't want them to be married, she said in a serious tone. Why? It's yet another secret. I can't tell you. Maybe because you look too troubled and I'm a good friend. All right, you can help me. She hugged Roy. Oh, thank you. Ugh, I need air. What is it with the characters in this story being, like, totally pathetic when it comes to any form of attention from the opposite sex? Like, when it comes to Lucario and Chris is obviously just, just platonic male bro friends, When it comes to that matter, it's just, they say all manner of schmaltzy shit to each other, but when even the mildest suggestion of interaction from one of a female persuasion comes in, it's just... everyone just sort of, falls to pieces. Anyway, whatever. I suppose, it was, Chris and Maylene, I guess, it was Maylene who had to, make the move, as it were. And when they sort of landed next to each other, or they sort of fell over at one point, I remember, and they landed next to each other, and they were like, let's never talk about this again! Like it's some terrible crime to sort of, to accidentally have bodies touching each other, like, through clothes. I don't know, whatever. So, Roy, whatever, this is a pointless tangent. Look, I need air! She stopped her embrace and blushed a little. Oops, sorry, I'll get carried away sometimes. Roy was gasping for breath. No, now. Do you want to know what are my plans? I'm all ears now. Good. She looked around and Lyn and Hector weren't there. They're hiding from us for the kiss. Follow me. Serra grabbed Roy by the cape and they ran away to find the wrong couple of the future. The wrong couple of the future. Eloquent as ever. I like it. After some minutes of looking around, some fucking minutes? Couples separated for a few minutes, honestly, on their own merits. They're in a tent, they're whatever. This is medieval times. Maybe they're a bit more chaste then. After some minutes of looking around, they finally found them hiding behind some trees. Serra asked Roy if he could follow her. When Serra reached the place, Roy's eyes widened when he saw Serra's plan. "Serra, for what is the catapult?" Roy asked, a little scared. Standing in front of him, there was a big catapult ready with a big boulder aiming at Hector. What the fuck? "Isn't obvious? The boulder is going to fall above the clueless blue-armoured knight," Serra said proudly. "I thought we wanted to break their relationship, not break his bones. Alright, let's... "Sometimes you need to do sacrifices, my red-haired swordsman," Serra said, grinning. I was red-haired, by the way, not red-head. Just in case you weren't sure. "Serra, what is exactly your intention to kill Hector?" Serra looked away with an upset face. "The big meanie didn't wanted me to participate in a battle against an army. Sorry, gotta get that right. It's Against, as always. Against an army, but I kept protesting back to him, and somehow he managed to convince Eliwood to not accept me in the battlefield. If you were there at that moment, Hector was the one who suffered a lot of damage than the others. I was so angry at him at that day, and I decided to get revenge on him." "But he was just thinking about your safety," Roy said. "I'm also doing a favour to Florina, you know." "Florina? What does she have to do with this?" Roy asked, confused. "I know Florina wants to marry Hector someday, so I'm doing a big favour to her." Roy walked towards Serra, grabbing the rope to stop her from launching the boulder at Hector. "By killing his future husband?" "His? That's not very nice. We've already discussed that Florina uses female gender pronouns." Fuck. "Wow, I didn't thought about that before." "Come on, we have to think about another plan now." Roy had enough guts to pull the rope by accident, and Sarah's... Fuck, computer just fully recharged. It's not meant to go... it's, you know, my computer has a problem with battery life, and it's best not to, overcharge it, I guess. Which is what I just did. Good one, me. Alright, come on, we have to think about another plan now. Roy had enough guts to pull the rope by accident, and Serra, speaking of guts, you know, that including basically every other character from fictional history in this story, and by they I mean Aura Channel or Chris, why not include Guts as well from Berserk? That'd be great. Just like fucking, he's like Ike Mark II. Whatever. He should be in Smash. That'd be interesting. It'd be fun. You just hit people and they just instantly 100 damage. Okay. Roy had enough guts to pull the rope by accident, and Sarah's jaw dropped after the boulder went soaring into the sky, falling above Hector. Just then, he was about to kiss Lyn. Oh no, that was Hector. What the fuck, I can't remember Hector's voice. Oh yeah, he passed out, didn't he? Oh, whatever. "How I've been waited for this moment to happen," Hector thought with closed eyes. He didn't notice that the shadow of the boulder was getting bigger below his foot. "After this kiss, I'm going to ask Hector for marriage," Lyn thought with closed eyes. Ha! Someone shouted behind Hector, and both of them were pushed away by Guy and Chris, who were training in the night with their swords. "You're good," Chris said, panting. "You're not bad either. Your style of battle, it's getting better now," Guy said, panting. Thanks for helping me mastering the ability to hold my sword with both hands. It's really weird to fight with one hand, Chris said. "Why? You have better ability to move around then, don't you? I mean... I don't know." Unfortunately, Chris was standing in Hector's spot, and he didn't notice the shadow growing in every second. Let's continue, Guy suggested. He yelled and ran at Chris with his sword ready, and Chris prepared to retaliate with his sword. But just then, Chris was comically crushed by the boulder, and Guy crashed into it by accident, making his own image on the rock as he walked away with dumb movements. Ah! Roy and Serra yelled, surprised and worried about their action.